you go about and you talk about it and how to create this and how to overcome your fears by creating the alter ego. I think it's important for the audience to understand. Can you get into that a little bit and how someone can go about that?
So crafting an alter ego is just recognizing that really anyone who's accomplished anything is just like you and me, and that they've played some game where they've viewed themselves in a way and had to believe that they were worthy of the gifts that they've been given, worthy of following that bliss, following that inner light, following that joy, that spark joy feeling. So I have people like just, I'll just play out what we did yesterday. So I just did an open-ended brainstorm of if you could be anyone, who would you be? And it could be I would be a magical unicorn crocodile. Like it doesn't matter. Or I would be a combination of Britney Spears and Oprah, like whatever your vision is for who you'd want to be. And so, okay, great. What are their personality traits? What are their qualities? What do you admire? What are you jealous of that you see other people doing that you wish you had? And that's an open brainstorm. And then we make a character profile of them and start to, identify like what are their top 5 personality traits? What are they always wearing? What do they eat for breakfast? Just really how do they spend a typical day? So we have a sense of who they are. And then I had everyone introduce their alter egos to the group. And they were so creative in describing different things. Someone had a woman named Charlotte who's always really polished and put together and has this like boho style in her house. And she is always patient with her kids and likes to take walks on the beach. Like nothing, she's not saying like win 20 Grammys. She's this is all achievable stuff. So I would have them do that and then, excuse me, introduce their characters. And then the real kind of thing at the end is, why do we believe that that's not us already? And then they're like, but I'm flawed and I'm not that outgoing and I'm not that, I could never, and that all of that kind of self-doubt starts to well up. And then I just say, is that make believe, this character that you've created, or is the, bullshit story that you've created about your limitations true? And so we just start to play. And so this whole idea of trying on alter egos is a very playful thing. And so I said, when your kid walks into the room with a Power Ranger costume and they're like acting it out and they're shooting things and they're kicking and yelling and playing, you don't go and they'll go like, I'm a Power Ranger. You don't go like, no, you're not, you loser. You're like, you're just a little kid, you loser. But that's how we talk to ourselves all the time. I'm not an, I could never. Um, so I just say, at least start talking to yourself like you're your own child. And say like, yeah, you are Oprah and Britney Spears. And like, I love your talk show, dance show thing that you have going on. Like, that's amazing. Like, go for it and see what starts to happen. And what starts to happen when you start showing up in the world this way is that people just applaud people being authentic and true to themselves. The woman in the grocery store who's wearing like a yellow polka dot dress and just like living her best life, like they're magnetic and vibrant and unapologetic and confident, and you can't help but smile even though like it's a little countercultural. It's amazing to witness people doing their thing and being in their element, and so alter egos let us play with that a little bit.
Like David Goggins is another one that created an alter ego called Goggins, right? And he needed to get in Goggins to one put his past aside and not let that limit him going forward. And Goggins became the superhero. And he was actually I had the pleasure of doing a run with him. He came to my house last year
Wow.
before Refuel. He's one of our keynote speakers, and it was surreal because he is this is kind of an embarrassing story. So he comes in my house. I have about 40 people here geared up and just super fans. Like Goggins is going to be here. We're going to do a run. It's 5 a.m., maybe 5:15. Chicago weather, December, 15 degrees outside, snowing. And he pulls up, comes in the house, and everyone's just kind of staring at him. We're all just like, wow, because we've all read the book, and we're like,
Yeah.
here's Goggins. And I started off the run with him, and the first thing I say is, listen, I I am not a super fast runner. So I'm just like basically in a nice way telling him like, please don't go crazy right now because I'm not going to be able to keep up, and I'd love to run with you. So I'm running with him, and he's dead silent, and he's running. We have our headlamps on, and I was like, all right, this is bizarre. So I put in my earbuds. He's next to me, and I have this playlist on Spotify where he's talking over like just like, rap music and like music to pump you up. So I'm running and I'm looking at him and I'm hearing him, but it's not him next to me. And it was the most surreal experience. So we ended up running like 5 miles. We stopped a quarter of the way and did, I don't even like 1,000 jumping, probably not 1,000 jumping jacks, but it seemed like they never ended. Like jumping jacks, push ups, the grass was completely, frosted and our hands are frozen. It was one of the coolest experiences. And
Mm.
so many people that did it were afraid, including myself, like, man, you're working out with Goggins, after hearing all that. But he didn't or wouldn't have got to the place that he ended up at without creating this alter ego. So I
Mhm.
love that you are reviewing that with your clients and you're going over that and you're getting them to think about that. And I think people listening to this need to think about that because it gets you through these obstacles. And you're like, hey, that's not me. That's my alter ego. Just like you said, that kid that's a superhero.